And Nishi, do you mind showing us your face so that we know who you look like?
Actually, yeah. You just give me a minute.
Yeah, because we are capturing pictures of all the people you speak to so that when we talk about this guy, what's this guy's name, we can put a
Because
face.
Nishit is working from home.
I see, no problem. I'm also working from home. This is my painting at home, so that's fine.
Yeah, you just give me a minute. I'll just fix the cap. Just a minute.
Okay.
Wear
Otherwise,
your shirt, Nishit.
we can take MK's face as well. You can be the face of the company.
Yeah, I'm taking the call from the office.
Okay.
So your office is your Republic Polytechnic is Woodlands, isn't it?
No, that's Singapore Poly, but I'm actually I'm not a staff. I'm just a consultant doing various projects. So, but the W2 office is in Tuas.
Ah, okay.
And it's not convenient for you to visit because they wanted to reduce the number of people visiting them because there's some foreign workers working in the office as well.
Wow. Because I'm sitting in Woodlands.
You're sitting in Woodlands.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So which are the two companies you have seen on Dynamics?
I will share with you later on when we have a private conversation.
Ah, sure. Yeah, Nishit is here.
You can see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yes, I like your mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen.
Great.
And in order to, again, the bandwidth issues, so you mind if I can shut it down and I can
Yes,
come
please.
back
Yeah, I
again?
got a picture already.
Okay, so at least you can see me whom you're talking to.
Yes, I saw you now. I recognize you.
Okay, fine. Hello?
Yeah.
Nishit, I can't see your screen. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'm sharing it now. Can you see it?
No.
Yes, it's coming on. Yes, we can see your folder now. Excellent.
Okay, but I'm not able to see any of you.
That's okay.
Okay,
We
fine.
can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay, so so all of you have seen this Dynamics BC before, or this is the first time? I mean,
Yes,
I think
we've seen this before.
Okay, fine. So what I'll do is I'll quickly fly through the various modules because I think you're already well versed with that. And then I will go into the service module, which is more relevant in your part. So what you see in front of you is basically the dashboard, and this is totally configurable based on your choice, and this is controlled by the roles and permissions. So whoever is logging in with, say, a sales related profile or a purchase related profile will see their relevant dashboard. Okay, for example, I've logged in as a salesperson, so I can see my sales quote, my sales order. Okay, and I can drill down into it and I can see the detail. Okay, so what we have here out of the box is this. Under the sales processing, we have sales quotation, we have sales orders, blanket orders, return orders. We can have approvals as well. Okay. Looking at your website, I think you're also buying and selling your components, correct? And whatever you are selling, installing it, you are doing a service on top of that. Am I correct to say that?
That's correct.
Okay. So based on that, you can have your sales quotations, which will look something like this. Okay, where you have got all your customer details are here. On the right hand side, you can see your sales history, which is quite nice because you can have all your historical data on your fingertips, and then you can see the details. Example, how many quotations I've sent in the past, and you can refer to the price which you have quoted in the past. You can have again the item list, and the item list will be having a price. So let me show you very quickly just in case you've already covered that the last time. If I go into, say, an item called engine oil. So when you're creating a sales quotation or a sales order, typically you can either enter the price, okay, for a customer. So we can have a price policy, something like this, where you can have a customer specific price, where if you have a very big customer, you can have a very special price for that particular item. For example, for customer number 92, which is Golski Systems, I have this item selling for $12. If I am selling to a group of customers, so if you don't have customer specific pricing, the second category is the group. So you can group your customers based on any categorization. In this case, example is the retail and wholesaler. So I can have a specific price for these categories, or you can have across the board. Okay, if you're having some industrial, some seminars and you're taking part in, you are actually showcasing your items, you can also have a campaign-based pricing. So you can analyze, whether that campaign was successful, how many leads you got from that campaign and all that. And that can be coupled with different currencies and with the minimum quantity as well. So that is more on the pricing side. So once your quotation is approved with a click of a button, make order, you can simply create an order, which is here. Okay, so what I'm showing you now is basically a trading part. So you are putting a quotation. That quotation can be for services, or it can be for the selling of the item. Now in BC, once you make a sales order, and we have configured the system, then what will happen is, once you do a posting, this means once you deliver it, when you see the ship means deliver. So when the time comes to deliver and you deliver it, it will also create that item as a service item. Now, when I say a service item means, can I assume that you are also tracking your items based on any serial number?
Basically, we don't track based on serial number because it's quite troublesome for us. So actually, that is actually quite a big challenge to us also. So we do sometimes put serial number, but I mean it's quite intensive, yeah.
Okay, see, if you're not having a serial number tracking, then how do you keep track of whether it's under warranty or not?
Yeah, that's why this part is more like we get the customer PO, then we check from the system, then we check from the DO. So it's actually not a very efficient way of doing it.
Understand, because if a existing customer is buying multiple times,
yeah,
and one of the part is malfunctioning, and he gets back to you that hey, this part is malfunctioning, there's no way to know, I think, whether it's still under warranty or it's not under warranty, because the older ones will be, maybe it's out of warranty by now.
Yeah, that's why actually we wanted to look at like Microsoft or SAP or Sage or whatever itself that can give us a good solution. Of course, there's tracking by serial number, but there's also tracking. There's also some software that actually tracks by customer name.
Actually, we can track by customer name, and we can also track it by. We can configure it, if you like, in a way where your serial number is basically your sales order number.
Yeah.
Or by hand phone number of the customer also. We have some customers who track by the hand phone number of the customer.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say, for example, you can you track a serial number based on maybe the PO number of that customer. So whatever PO that we sent for that, that is covered under warranty. Yeah, something like that. So the customer say, oh, this is the PO number. We can actually check rather than each individual serial number. Of course, that is the best one, but sometimes it's very intensive for us to dig each equipment, every box to check. It can be quite massive. Yeah.
Okay, see, if you're doing installation, what we can do is, instead of serial number, we have something called a batch number or the project number.
Okay. Can
Okay,
you show
so
us the batch and project number? Where can we assign?
yeah, so in here, in my item, we have something called an item tracking lines. Item tracking line. So in here, I think this one is not an item tracking enabled. That's why you are getting this message. So here, if the item is a lot enabled, then what we can do is we can automatically allocate the customer's PO number. I mean, we have to do some configuration where we can take the customer's PO number, and that becomes the tracking number.
Okay.
So you can have 10 different items, of all sizes, of all different types and all that. And everything is tied with one project number or one tracking number, which is the customer's PO number.
Okay.
So immediately if the customer is calling you, you can say, okay, what is the customer PO number you're talking about? Immediately you will have a list of all those items which you sold under that tracking number, and then you can take a decision whether it's under warranty or not.
Okay.
Okay. So now what is happening is once you create a sales order, then we can track when is the requested delivery date and all that. If you see this picture and signature, let me show you. There is one item is there which has got some pictures over here. Yeah. So this one is the mobile proof of delivery, which we are talking about, which we have built it for all our customers, and that's a part of the entire package, where through your mobile phone, be it Android or be it iPhone, you can open that app. You can see the entire detail of the sales order with the address, with the GPS coordinates tracking, and you can also see the items. And once the item has been delivered, okay, and in your case maybe installed as well, you can take a picture of that, and that becomes a part. It comes back to the system and looks like this, and then the customer can sign that it has been delivered, and that signature also comes here. Now for a few customers, we have made that the moment they sign it, an auto email will be fired back to the customer, okay, with this picture and the signature as a getting back to them with the proof of delivery, and based on that you can do the invoicing.
So you can do digital signature also. So that means you can actually that means the delivery person can actually download the apps because we normally go for external delivery, so the person can actually bring their phone and then ask the customer to sign off from there, right?
Yeah, so the signature will be done on the phone itself.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a digital signature which comes back to the system at the back.
Is this via the app or via the web browser?
Via the app.
Okay.
Via the mobile app. Okay, so so this is very quickly. I'm actually just touch basing on the sales, and the purchasing is also quite similar to the sales, where you can do your purchase orders based on the items which you may want to buy. There are two ways to do a PO. One way is to go inside the PO and do it manually, and whatever decision which you have taken, like I want to buy this item and that item, based on that you can create a PO. The other way is to maintain a reorder point. So if I go back into my item, okay, so here if you see, I have my reorder point and I have my reorder quantity. So this means whenever the stocks fall below this particular reorder point, I want to buy a top up another 50. Okay, so this one is you can do the setting for each and every item, and then based on the demand and supply. Demand means your open orders, which will give you the demand. The open PO not yet received is your basically supply, incoming supplies, and your inventory in hand, plus this anything which has gone below this reorder point. All these four categories will be taken into the consideration, and the system will suggest you to start buying. Okay, which is under the purchase order, we have the planning requisition worksheet. Here, if you see this button called calculate plan, this will take all those 4 factors into the consideration, and it will suggest you that this needs to be bought, in order to meet the demand. And if you are typically buying those items from your preset suppliers, if you are say buying from China and your suppliers are pretty much fixed for a given item, then you can set it up, and the system will tell you from whom to buy, and then you can carry out this action of converting the suggestion into a PO without doing any data entry. Just click this button and it will create a PO automatically. So that's another so-called automated way to create a PO.
So, but for the PO itself, it has to be authorized, right? If not, if everybody just order,
Correct. Exactly. So actually, both on the sales quotation, sales order, or the PO, we have approvals in place. So you have this button called send for approval. So you can have an approval hierarchy that from $1 to 10,000, Mr. A approves. Above 10,000 to 20,000, B approves. You can have that kind of hierarchy.
So if let's say if somebody forgot to put this send approval request, the PO cannot go out, right?
Exactly. The system will not allow you to print the PO. In some cases, because due to some reason they want to see a physical copy of vetting purpose and approval, we have allowed the system to churn out a PO, but with a watermark of draft on top.
Okay.
Okay, so once it is approved, then the draft goes off and becomes a original one.
Let's say, for example, if we want to track basically how well, like for example, the logistics side, they want to track those outstanding PO that they need to track the shipment. Is there sort of a report to let them see, what is their? Is there a sort of what is that called, a notification if the to actually chase our principal when the goods are not here yet?
Exactly. So for that, we have got the date is there. We have just a moment. Yeah, for each item on the purchase order, we have got planned receipt date and the expected receipt date. So whenever this is skipped, then what will happen is, if you can recall my dashboard, let me show you one more time. It'll be popping up under the delayed bucket over here. So in one shot, you can know that something has been delayed. And for quite a few customers, we have created 3 tiles where we say delivery today, delivery this week, delivery this month. So all the time you'll be having it on your radar that, oh, today is something is to be delivered. And if it is not delivered, it will just jump from today's delivery into a delayed bucket. Okay, and then you can see, and then you can call your principal that, hey, you're supposed to deliver yesterday, until today there's no delivery. Okay, so it may hit their KPI basically.
Actually, does your system actually generate like sort of a backlog list? Like for example, end of this month, I want to see what has not been closed and what has been already invoiced, and what is the outstanding things that, because ours is on project, so we have like sometimes we have commissioning not done. Am I able to see such a report?
Yeah, see, we can surely show you that what are the things which you have delivered, we have received, we have invoiced, you have shipped this month by each project. We can show you that. Okay.
So at least we know what is our backlog, like end of the 2020, we need to know, hey, what is backlog for our, for our next year, how much work do we have that's bring over to next year, and what is the value for that? Yeah.
Okay, in BC, actually, I understand you have a service component. But
yes.
On the project side, when you say you have projects, so is it just for tracking purpose, or you also have WIP, work in progress?
We do have work in progress. We also have service contracts that actually generally is about 2 years, 3 years service contracts that we need to also like monitor to make sure that when the service contract, before 3 months the service contract is over, probably it will be good to have a notification in the dashboard to tell, like for example, Rowena, and her team to see, oh, she need to actually call this customer or something like that to make sure that she follow up, to make sure that there's a continuation of the service with them.
Understand. But on the accounting perspective, do you have work in progress accounting for your jobs?
Okay, basically because for the past year we don't have, but we started to have a small, we don't want to complicate the WIP because we don't have a very good system for that. So
Okay.
there's a few things that we actually just expense it off, except those that is a prepayment that we have not done the service. We'll take that as a WIP for next year. When we do the job, then we recognize the revenue.
Oh, okay, understand. Because this system has got jobs module as well, where you can keep, for example, the job can be like delivery, installation, and the installation can be broken down into phases as well. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Final is installation and billing.
Okay. So
Okay,
you can actually decide, like, for example, you can of course do progressive payment, I guess, to the customer, right?
Correct. Okay, and if you're doing projects, by any chance, do you see your profitability by project where the labor cost is also a component, or you just concerned with the material cost?
We have both sides basically. So we do have projects that requires labor, okay, and then basically we also have projects that basically just pure selling of the goods itself, without labor for that.
Okay. Okay, fine. And so if you're having projects with labor costing, means you are keeping track of the timesheet as well of your different labors?
So far we have not really gone to that extent to do like for every job costing, but of course when we actually design a project, it's always good to be able to basically do some tracking so that we know for each individual job, sometimes we may have burned that job, but we are not sure, but just spend so much time to clear the job, so it will be good to track that so that at least like we know that in future for this job we may need to allocate more manpower, or what's the average time that they use. But whether for that itself, can we use that as for internal use rather than actually impact can we basically say that this should not impact our books? Because if you start impacting the books, then every month we need to do accruals, we need to do WIP, which I think is quite extensive for us, and it may not be necessary, but it will be good for internal checking on on how well we do the jobs, how much profit we did generate internally, how much itself. But to put it on to the account side, I'm not sure whether we should go to the extent, because it can have a lot of work every month for that, to register for the air freight charges. But also another thing is for air freight charges, it's also a challenge for us. On one hand, we always wanted to know how much is the air freight charges for that particular job. But the problem is for air freight, we normally consolidate a few jobs. Okay. So somebody has to physically count, okay, how many kg is this one?
Some allocations, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I know data is very important, but, somebody still need to check the whole air freight. But some are quite straightforward. Some are direct air freight that is for that particular job. It could be good to basically put into it. But based on that, will that actually make complication to the account system?
I understand. Actually, there's always a tussle between accuracy and practicality, whether it is practical or not to keep in such detail.
Yes.
Can we address the first issue, which is if we were to log in the man hours clock in, can we not have that reflected on the financial accounts?
Correct.
Yeah, we can have, so we can switch that off so that you can keep track just for reporting purpose, but not for accounting purpose.
Excellent.
Correct.
Then for the second issue that we
us, how does it?
The second issue that so we will just record the so-called hours for reporting purposes, and it's not linked to our accounts and all, right?
Correct.
Great. Okay. The second question we was asking, let's say we bring in a shipment, and the shipment, the material cost, let's say $10,000.
Okay.
but it's being co-shipped with another shipment that costs, let's say, $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the cost of these two shipments together is maybe, let's say, $1,500.
Okay.
If I want to cost in the logistics cost to this two shipments, can I just manually do my own calculation and apportion the cost accordingly, let's say $500, $1,000?
Yeah. So this is the cost is inward or is it outward to the customer?
Inwards.
Inward.
Inwards. Yeah, you can do that. So you can capitalize instead of expensing out this cost. You can capitalize and put it as the cost of the stocks.
Okay.
And yeah, you can. Okay. Let me show you one thing.
I can do it as a lump sum or can do it as a percentage of the cost of the material.
You can, yeah, you can take control of that. You can do as a lump sum or you can do a percentage. Actually, in the system, we have got. Let me show you an example if I have charge item. Just give me. So suppose my freight was 500 or say 1000. So if I can go here and I can say I want to assign my this thing, and here I can go to get lines and I can say that that this was basically I want to take it from these delivery orders which has come, and I want to do equally or I want to do by the ratio of the amount, or I want to do it by weight or volume, or you can take control and you can say I want to do it manually. So this is, I mean, the system has the functionality to help you to calculate based on these parameters. But if you're wanting to take control manually, by all means, you can do that.
Yeah, great. This is very nice.
So that one becomes the cost of your items, and that your basically landed cost goes up.
Beautiful.
Okay, so coming back on the service module. So under the service, we have got, so every item becomes a service item. So the good part over here is, I don't know whether you also service the items not sold by you. Do you do that?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so if okay, so if it is sold by some other vendor, but they're not happy, they want to come to you. But so by all means, you can treat it as a service item, and based on that, you can have a contract. And here you create something called a service order. So under the service order, here, when a call comes, that, okay, that I want to have a servicing. So you can track whether it's under the contract. So here you have a contract number. So you can have a list of all your service contracts. So you can say that the service is relating to which contract, is it in effect or not? And based on that, you can say that this item is having some problem. So here you can keep track of the process, whether it's in finished, initial. Now this is just for the tracking purpose. If you want to go to that extent, the system can show you whether it's that item is under warranty or not. Okay, but of course it has to be tracked based on that particular tracking number. You can also track whether your service item which you're doing, which you're wanting to service, what is the fault? The fault is in the data processing, or I mean, this item is a computer item. That's why you can see this picture, color, sound, or what. So what is the fault area? What are the symptoms? Okay, what is the fault code? What is the solution? Okay, what is the priority? What is the response time? So if you're wanting to go to that extent, you can do it, but it's not mandatory. Okay, so based on that, then you can come into something called a service item worksheet. Now in the service item worksheet, here you will say that I want to basically consume how many hours if something needs to be fixed by a technician, how many hours I spent. What are the items or the the material which I'm putting back. So based on that, you can keep track of that, and then under the resource allocation also you can do it. If you are going to each and every technician, how many hours he spent on that particular one, and then you can go and post it. Now, once you post, the system will ask you whether you want to deliver after it has been fixed an invoice. Typically, this is when that it's not under warranty, or you want to just deliver and consume the cost yourself, which is basically hitting your P&L. So it's a zero revenue, but the cost is being allocated for whatever the material and the time has been spent on that particular repair. Okay, so this will have an accounting impact on revenue and your consumption. This will be just having a consumption, zero revenue. Okay. So based on that, we can show you a lot of reports. We can show you the profitability by each contract. We can also show you that this particular customer, the service is very high, and whether if the service is high, are you making money based on your repair because it's under warranty, or it's most of the time it's not under warranty. So all these parameters, we have to sit and talk with you and understand what are the key reports which you are wanting to see at the end of the day to keep track, and then we can show you in something called Power BI. If you can see this particular report. So this is something called a Power BI, which is a Microsoft product, and we are bundling it together with the ERP. And based on this, we can show you, like from the time bucket, we can show you the sales by customer. Okay. So if I play around with the time slicer, you can see the entire thing gets optimized based on this selection. So we can have sales by customer. Is it too small on your screen, or is it visible?
It's okay.
Okay. And here we can show you sales by the period, where you can see that the April was very, very bad. Okay. And if I choose a particular customer called, say, China International, you can see that the sales was very, very good in May, but the worst was Feb. Okay. Again, so you can click any way you feel like, and the rest of the chart gets optimized and filtered. You can also see by item. So what kind of items you have been selling? Are you doing an overseas sales?
No, not at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Then this doesn't make logic. And here you can have your item category. So you can categorize your items. You can also categorize your projects. Okay, that
actually, we had this discussion. What we want to do is to slice the sales by the different principals, the different brands,
correct,
by the different customers, major customers,
okay,
by different industry, by different contract types. So this would be a very good slicing for us.
Exactly. So all those these analytics which you're talking about, we call it something as a dimension. Okay, let me show you what is dimension in all about.
Before that, could I ask a question for previous screen?
Sure.
Under the repair status codes, there's altogether 9 different categories. Can those be renamed, or could some be eliminated?
Yeah, actually, these are all masters which you'll be maintaining it.
Okay, so you're saying that repair item code could be configured.
Yeah, this is all configured by you. This is just what I've entered as a sample.
Okay, good.
Okay, so whatever you see here under the fault area, symptoms, and fault code and all that, it is all your data. You are supposed to configure that.
I'm referring in particular to the repair status code. Can that be configured as well?
Yeah. Can you, if you see this particular new, we can go and we can create another new repair status.
Excellent. And you can do it because you're admin. Normally nobody you can't let anyone do these changes, right?
Exactly.
Excellent.
So whatever screens which is meant for a typical admin, we can switch that off by the roles and permissions.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay, now the other thing itself is that basically we have a regular maintenance contract, and generally we have a long-term maintenance contract with our customer. So
Okay.
basically we are always looking at, like, for example, we service gas detection systems. Okay, so we service for example, module. So we service for them every year, every 3 months we service for them. So we are actually, of course, we have the list of detectors that's there, but we also need to generate calibration report every time we do it. That means we do a manual report. Means we need to generate a report on what we see at site. Okay, on what replacement we have done. Okay, and then basically at the same time, after we finish, we have to actually, of course, calibrate it. And after our calibration, we need to basically do a calibration report. I just wonder whether is there a feature over here itself that the engineer can generate calibration report from Microsoft itself.
Actually, for calibration report, I'm sure there'll be a lot of information which is quite technical, correct?
Yeah, more technical. That means basically, for example, after I finish like 10 detectors itself, I will have like the serial, the item number, the tag number, the location, then the calibration status, and what did I do before and after itself. Are they okay? Then I sign it off and I print it out to our customers and send it over to them. For this, at this moment, we have been doing manually.
Okay.
Right? But we, of course, we have a template from Excel that we change the date, everything. Then we change the values that we have at site. Then we generate that calibration report to our customers.
If you can chip in, yeah, I think one of the guiding factor is that do we want to key in the information, the technical information that goes in the report into this Microsoft system?
Yeah, that's what
is it value to key in? If there's no in, then we might as well just use other Excel or Word document to generate those, unless we wanted this information for subsequent reference purposes, for some analysis purposes. Otherwise, it's best to be done separately, because there's going to be a lot of effort to set up all these fields to key them in for the purpose of generating report. I think what we can do is that we can separately look into what goes into this report and find out whether maybe instead of the whole report, we can put in the report header, report brief from the system, and the rest of the information will be just appendix attached from other documents.
Exactly. Actually, if you see here, we have got links over here. So here we can just go and say, I want to attach that Excel sheet. If that Excel sheet, which is a calibration report, needs to be attached to this particular service order, we can do like this. We can just select it from here and we can attach it. Okay, so in future, if anybody is coming back to the sales order, they can open that attachment and they can see the detail of it. But as David said, that this has to be treated as your normal Excel, which just needs to be attached. But if you are wanting that information to be captured in the system, then we have to design a screen for you.
Okay.
But again, we have to see whether is there a value add to put it in the ERP system, or is it just an information which the Excel will do the purpose, just by attaching it.
Okay.
So so coming back on this particular dimension, which I wanted to show you, because just now we are discussing, that the reports and the analysis has to be done on various aspects. So in a typical non-BC Business Central approach, I've seen like in smaller accounting system, suppose we have got a revenue account called AC1001 and the amount is say 4,000. Now in future, if the management wants to see revenue by department, so now you see we keep on blowing up our chart of account to say so 1001 is semicon and marine. To make it more complex, how about department and region? Now you see your chart of account blows up again. And if you have say project category, customer category, and all that. So here we have got this BC approach. So in this, we have something called a dimension. So suppose we have got this AC1001, which is 4000, and we have something called a dimension where we call it as a department. For dimension 1, I have 2 values, and for dimension 2, I call it as a region. I have another 2 values, and similarly, you can have dimension 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, unlimited. And whenever you are doing any entries, like your sales invoice for a project, for a service contract, for a credit memo, your purchase, anything, your journals, it can be tagged with these particular dimensions. So the system is stores the data in this fashion. Now it becomes very, very easy for the system to pick up based on your filtrations. For example, if I tell the system, okay, show me all the sales by semicon, system will just go and fetch these two. Semicon along with local, it will take this one. Only local, it will take this and this. So in your case, we can sit and we can decide, that you need X amount of dimensions. One will be like your customer category, your project category, your service types or service categories, your customer segmentation, whether they belong to the residential or they belong to corporate offices or what or shopping malls, and based on that we can have all these dimensions configured, and then the power is seen over here. Then all those analytics can show up in a beautiful manner over here for you to slice and dice, and you can see exactly the data rather than seeing 10 different reports from the system. So it becomes extremely fruitful to see it in this manner. And one thing is under the drill down report, again we have got a feature where you can drill down the information. Here I'm showing you a helicopter view. In this case, it's a country. So I want to see that, okay, China is giving me the best business. Okay, what are the things which I'm selling in China? So here it will show you that the customers in China are divided into 2 categories, trade and marine. So you see the trade related customers are giving you fantastic business as compared to marine. I can drill down and say, okay, China International is the company who's giving me more business than the other one. I can drill down further. I can see that they are buying sports related item more than the garments and food. So what are they buying in sports? I can drill down. I can see they are buying gym racks more than dumbbell sets. So if I drill down further, I can go right down into the invoice level. So you see right from the topmost level, I have drilled down to the invoice level to show you the statistics. And this can also be reflected under the sales and by inventory. So you can categorize by inventory what kind of items you are selling, what are the sales, what is the cost of sales. So the system is capable of handling your costing based on FIFO, or average or specific costing in case of its serial tracking or a batch tracking. And then you can see your profitability by those categories. In your case, I can say it'll be one of the category can be your service, the service category or the service types or the project types or the project category. And here we can also see that what are the items you have sold or what are the projects which you have done across the time zones. So if I just click in, say, April, so in April, these are the items which I have sold, and these are the profits which I made. If I select on March, these are the items which I have sold, and these are the invoices as well. So you just click, slice and dice, and it will show you all the information over here. Yes, it can also show you under your graphical form as well. And have you worked on pivot tables before in Excel?
What tables again?
A pivot, P-I-V-O-T, in Excel, there's a feature called
Yes,
pivot
yes,
tables.
yes. Yes, of course. That one is very useful, yeah.
Very useful, yeah. So actually, if you know pivot, I think you already know Power BI, because in Power BI you can drag and drop and you can create your own things, you know. So for example, if I just go and say I want to add this one, and I can drag and drop my, you know, this over here, my department and all that. So it's that easy.
Okay. One out of the thing question itself, on the expense claim, just something out of this report. On the expense claim, because we are now doing quite a bit manually for the expense claim, where you know monthly there's expense claim by the people.
Okay.
Is there any expense claim that we could actually do on this ERP?
Yeah, we have got expense claim. You can do it in the ERP, and the good part is we have got a web page. This is again our product. Let me show you here. That in here we have got expense claim. So we can click on this expense claim. Here you can say that what are the expense types. Okay, and these expense types is again configurable by you. It is not hard coded. So you can have your own list of expense types and map it to the correct chart of account for accounting purpose, and you can enter the date. And these which you see here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now these are again configurable. These in Microsoft terms we can call it as a dimension. So you can have your profit centers or cost centers, or one of them is project already. Okay, so you can select your projects, enter the amount, currency. Okay, in your case it is Sing dollars most of the time, and here you can enter your GST, ESG, you know, whether it's in the GST 7 or no GST, give your remarks, and you can send for approval. And
Yeah,
once it is fully approved, it is interfaced into the ERP. It generates all your journal entries automatically.
Oh, is it? So basically, like for example, because we have entertainment, or for example, medical, so there's a category for medical, how much we spend, entertainment, how much we spend inside the P&L.
Correct.
So you can actually put a code from there, is it?
Exactly.
Then,
so under the type, if you see here, we have got these are the types. So if I just go to entertainment, so entertainment is tagged to this particular expense account in your chart account. So this is where we do the mapping.
Okay.
And when we do a payout, now we have already done an integration with the DBS and UOB, where it generates a file for your gyro payment. And once you do initiate a gyro payment, the applicant of that expense claim will be getting an auto email that your payment has been processed. Okay, if you are paying in cash, because a lot of people, I mean, they don't do a gyro, fine, no problem. In that case, there'll be an alert, you know, based on one of the trigger that once you are ready, you have to press a button, and it will send an email to the applicant that your cash is ready for collection.
Okay.
So they need not disturb the finance. Hey, is my payment getting processed or not?
This is a standard module from Microsoft?
No, this is our module. So we Microlabs, this belongs to us, and we are actually also rolling out to our customers.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
And one more thing is, in here we have got expense limits as well. Okay, so a lot of times, you know, you have got that for entertainment, per receipt limit is say $100, and the yearly limit is say $500.
Okay.
Okay, and this may also go up and down based on whether it's a senior manager or junior manager. You know, you can have a combination of that as well.
So you mean that actually Microsoft doesn't have expense claim option, is it, as a standard?
No, they don't have.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, okay, good. I take note of that. Good.
Okay, and this is good because if you have multiple people using your expense claim, you need not worry about your licensing on the Microsoft part. because they are by right not using Microsoft ERP. They are using this system, which in turn internally it is talking to Microsoft.
Okay. Can.
So you can save a lot of money on the licensing part as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. So this is the service part. Now on the jobs part, I think service and jobs will go hand in hand, where we can also have something called a job, which you can have a project plan, you know, whether you are doing, like, this is nothing but a phases. Okay, whether you have got an assembling, you're meeting with the customer, you're installing it, painting it, fabrication and all that, you can put all those things over here, and then this will take care of the WIP which I'm talking about. So if you have having any project which is going for a few months,
Okay.
then your job module will make sense, because you have got your WIP entries taking place and all that. Okay, and here we have WIP methods. Typically, people are following completed, cost of sales, and your completed contracts for very short duration. So in completed contract means that everything which you have, the cost is getting incurred, or the revenue which is getting billed partially will be sitting under WIP cost and WIP sales. And only once the job is completed, then it is shifted from your balance sheet into your P&L. It is realized after completion.
Okay, so that means WIP. Okay, so once it's completed, then you just put in. But basically, that means basically under the accounts every month itself, those that's under WIP itself, since the revenue has not been invoiced, the cost will be just captured as a WIP, and it will not be put into the P&L to show. Okay.
Correct. And for long running projects, which is like typically it makes sense in construction companies, you know, where your building construction is taking a few years, then they are going forward with the POC, which is percentage of completion. So in here we have a way of calculating the percentage of completion, where the budget takes the lead in deciding this percentage. So for example, my budget is say $100,000. And after a few months, say I have completed say 20,000. So it is termed as a 20% completion. Okay, so only your 20% of your cost and revenue will be getting shifted to your P&L, and the rest will be sitting in your balance sheet.
Okay.
Okay, so we have various ways. If you can see here, cost of sales, you know, completed contracts and POC.
Yeah.
So this is on the jobs part. And so any questions? Was I going too fast or something?
Yeah. Any questions? Rowena, you have any questions?
I have one question regarding the sales quotation part. Yeah. Is there any way we can generate a quotation for service contract?
Yes, we have got services. So we have service contract.
Okay.
So here you can enter your details regarding the service contracts. You can also take, you know, the status is signed or pending for signatures and all that. And
what's
here,
the difference between the service contract and the service contract code? I saw in the previous screen.
where?
The previous one, the earlier one.
Over here?
Yeah, there's a, no, not this one. There's a service contract and a service contract quotation.
Yeah, see, service contract quotation, which is this one. Okay, this one is basically a quotation which you are giving specifically for the service purpose.
Oh, okay.
So in this case, you are not selling any item. A normal quotation.
Okay, so for the service contract, there's like period, like for example 1 year or 2 years. So can I indicate this time frame in this quotation? Like for example, January 2020 to December 2020.
We can capture that. Yes.
Okay.
You have this. If you see this one, we have got the starting time and we have got the starting date. Sorry, and we have got the finish date, which is your period in effect.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and this can also be used in case where some ad hoc person comes, you know, and they want to have a quotation from you. Okay, that
this is more like a on-call service order, right?
It is an on-call service orders, and it once you have given a service and they have agreed to give you a contract, then you have to park it under a formal contract, which is here.
Yeah. Okay. For this screen, right, there's a service contract and service contract code. So what is the difference?
Okay, that one which you saw was basically for an ad hoc one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here the contract service contract code means that here you will be entering all these items which is under that particular contract for a year, and what are that contract is covering how many items.
Okay.
And then you can create a contract and then you can give it to them.
Okay, so once I got a confirm order, I can convert this to a service order, right?
Yes, you can make it into a contract, and then from there you can make it into a service order. Correct.
Okay, Ken. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions on service or sales? Finance, I'm not touching it because I think finance is quite straightforward. Where you have got the fixed assets and you know the bank recon, payable, receivable, form 5 for GST, multi-currency, because if you're buying your stuff from overseas, the system is multi-currency, multi-company. Realized gain or loss is automatically calculated. So that is all standard, you know, which is I think must be there in every system. So that part I'm not covering it unless you want me to.
I think it's okay for finance because the finance person is not here. It's fine.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, fine. So any questions on the service, whether it meets your requirements?
Sorry, just one more question.
Sure.
So for the service part, right, does this software is it able to track any warranty issues?
Yeah, it does.
You want to keep a record for warranty.
Correct. It does actually. So under the item, so whatever items which you are selling it, we have got a warranty date.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I go into my item, you see you have got the warranty start date, warranty end date.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can keep track of that.
So I can link this to a particular PO or customer, right?
Yes, correct. Actually, it's already linked to a customer. So if I go into my here, you see this one, it is linked to this Canon Group customer.
Okay. How about
so
the
whenever
PO number?
The PO number, we can show it over here. I mean, there's a lot of information which is hiding at the back.
Okay.
So we can just pull it over here and show it to you.
So if there's any service report for this warranty item, can I attach it together?
Yeah, you can attach it from here, this link.
Okay.
So here we can just go and say new. I want to attach it from my local computer. I can do that.
Okay, can. Okay, so is there like a overall summary that I can view, which is still under repair or which is already completed?
Yeah, we have got under service. We have got this under dashboard. We can see the status over here, whether it's pending, in progress, finished, on hold due to any reason.
Okay.
and each item, you know, we can have a status of that.
Okay, so just for the warranty, is it?
No, whether it's the repair status, if you see here, whether the repair status of that particular item is under what status, you can filter that.
Okay.
And if you need, we can also show you on the main dashboard, that blue color tile which I showed you. We can also publish it over here for all these service related personnel.
Okay.
That what are the ongoing you know, the service items, how much is under warranty, how much is the how much is the how many items are, you know, the warranty is expiring this month, so that you can get back to the customer for the renewal of the warranty.
Okay.
So all those information, because see, the information is all there. It is just a matter of collating that and showing you on a dashboard.
Okay.
Or we can also fire an auto email, you know, every Friday or every month end of all those warranties which are expiring in the next X number of days, maybe 7 days or 15 days, for the salespeople to get back to the customer for the renewal and all that.
So this will be the summary list, right, for all the warranty items. So can I ask, I can include a column for the brands, the different brands, for easy view.
Actually, your voice was cracking a little bit. Can you repeat one more?
Yeah, Rohina, could you repeat?
Yeah, for this summary list, right? Is it possible to add in one more column to show the different brands for easy viewing?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, can.
Because once we set your brand as a dimension, we can just go over here, choose column, and we can drag and drop this over here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I must say the interface looks very much like Microsoft Office.
Yeah, actually, the reason is that they have made the look and feel of Outlook of the system seamless, so that the learning curve is quite short.
Yeah, that's quite a winning formula because everyone is using Microsoft Office.
Exactly, correct. Yeah. And one good feature is that because it's all coming from Microsoft, it can be, let me show you here. It
Currently,
can be exported to Excel.
Currently, you're showing us a solution via the web interface, is it?
Actually, the web and this looks the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So here I can click on this Excel. It will export to Excel. And if I am showing you, okay, let me print something called a pick list. So here I can filter whether I want to export into a PDF, Word, or Excel. In many systems I've seen, if you are exporting in Excel, the alignment is all distorted and you spend a lot of time remassaging the data and putting it back. But here it maintains the integrity of your rows and columns.
But actually, can you limit the data to specific people? Because if let's say everybody can export everything from the system, then there's also there's also a risk, basically. If everybody can just know everything, able to see everything on this ERP, then
no. Actually, what you're saying is absolutely correct. You know that once we implement it, we will sit with you and we'll train you how to block all the people from seeing certain data, because typically a person who's working on a service should not be seeing the profit and loss of the company.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so then we will close all the doors. We have got roles and permissions over here. So under the permission sets, so these are all your permission sets, and from here we can put all the permissions, whether you can read, insert, modify, delete, or what. Okay, so from here we can actually lock all the doors.
Okay.
So it becomes absolutely secured. And you see, permission set by user.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, Madan?
Yep.
Yep.
Maiden, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Viva. I just want to add one more point. So you have asked for some reports and some alerts. So the reports and alerts can be scheduled in Dynamics 365. You can schedule a report or if something goes wrong or if you want some warranty is expiring, you want those to be alerted to you by email. Those features are also out of the box.
Generally, how long is the training for this one to actually get familiar with the systems?
About 5 to 6 days is good enough.
Okay. For each person or?
No, overall, like for example, I think before you come here, before you're here, I have shared with, I think it's 7 days training we have scheduled for you.
Mm-hmm.
7 days training means we are talking about 1 day training for sales, 1 day for purchasing, 2 days for finance, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually, ma'am, just to add to this, we have basically two phases where it is quite an intensive hands-on with the client. One is the training itself, where we train how to, how to use the system, where to click, how to click, and we get familiarized with the features.
Mm-hmm.
And then followed by something called a UAT, or a user acceptance testing. So that's also equally intense, rather more intense, because there the users will be doing the data entry in the system right from quotation until the final billing, and they'll flow through the entire process, and the system will be designed as per your own requirement. So if you take the UAT time and the training time together, it's quite substantial for the end user to pick it up. And of course, we're still there. If some high hand holding needs to be done, we're always there.
Okay. So a lot of things, basically, we can configure our own, we can do our own template, everything itself, right?
Yeah.
So one thing we discussed is that we wanted to train super users in W2
Yeah.
so that the super user can provide the first level of support, so that subsequently we will be able to minimize the use of support hours from the consultant. And because this is a cloud solution, and the less we depend on them, then the less we can minimize the cost of support. And I think we can appoint the so-called super user during the project itself, then they can receive the best training from the consultants.
Exactly.
So they are able to operate maybe like 50-60% of what the consultant can do in the context of coherence requirement. I think that'll be one of the key success factors of this project.
Okay.
Because ultimately the solution is provided by Microsoft, upgraded, maintained by Microsoft. The consultant's job is to bring us up to the speed. After that, we can take ownership of this. Then that will contribute to success of project as well as help us minimize costs.
Okay.
Actually, what you're saying is right. Because whenever we do the training, we conduct with the approach of train the trainer. Okay, so that if there's any newcomer coming in, you are well equipped to delegate that knowledge to the newcomer as well.
Okay, good. Sounds good.
Okay, good. So MK, I just put in a chat box. I left you my number.
Sure.
So maybe after we end this session, I need to have an internal team debrief first. Then maybe we can have a call maybe at about 5:10, 5:15.
Sure. Why not? Yeah.
Okay. So thanks, Nishit, for your very clear explanation. You were able to answer our question without single pause.
Thank you.
Before we answer the question, you really have the solution and you really went ahead to navigate. That's one thing that we really like, because we wanted the consultant they work with to be really competent.
Sure.
And you probably eat, drink, and dream about Microsoft Dynamics. So it's really
Yes,
part
you're
of your blood.
absolutely right. Yeah.
That's very
How
good.
many years you have been doing this, Nishit?
Close to 18 years now.
Huh?
18, 1-8.
Sorry? 1-8.
18
Yeah,
years,
18
yeah.
years, 18
So
years.
Nishit is 30 years old and she's been doing Microsoft Dynamics since he was 12 years old.
Oh.
No, no, no. My age is 47.
I'm just joking. Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Okay, so Nishit and MK, you can just leave the room. We're going to have our debrief then.
Yeah.
We have a chat about the commercials after this via the phone.
Sure. Okay, fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks
so
very
much.
much for your time.
Thank you.
You have
Bye.
my number?
I just messaged you my number in the chat. Can you take it? Or you can write it down?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Okay, can just.
I will call you at 5:15, isn't it?
Maybe can you message me first? Then I will tell you. I'll let you know when I finish the debrief.
2454. I'll WhatsApp you my number as well.
Thank you very much.
WhatsApp.
Okay, sure.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Yeah. All right. So this is session number 7. I tell you, you guys are ERP experts by now, you know. So just to let you recap, we have spoken to 2Sage, 2SAP, and this is the 3rd Microsoft Dynamics.
Microsoft, yeah.
So altogether, there's 7. And actually, I just finished. The costing is quite a headache because everybody costed differently, and all the salespeople try to
Actually, I'm very confused, you know.
Don't worry.
Jipeng.
Don't worry.
I'm so confused.
I got it all settled already. Don't worry.
Wow, well done,
I spent yesterday and today sorting out all the confusion.
That's why I was thinking how they do it.
Don't worry. Things that they left out, I asked them. They said, "Yeah, that one must add in." So they try to. They got all kind of strategy on because they try to leave out certain things that will come in later. They try to put here.
You know that I thought Sage was so cheap. There was no license. Suddenly I saw the price from World of Management.
Tomorrow when we meet up internally, I'll brief you everything very clearly.
Okay, good.
And I also share with you how we can minimize our spend by a few ways. One of the areas really is super users.
Yeah.
So if you can, maybe discuss tomorrow. So so that's it. So don't look at the pricing. Don't worry. Don't look at it.
So I was so confused over the price. I thought I tell everybody to see the World of Management. Suddenly the price become as high as Microsoft. I was no different.
Just keep it as a reference first. Anyway, this is just a preliminary quotation.
Yes.
After you form out the requirement, then we ask them to quote Apple for Apple because everybody quotes different licenses. And for example, Microsoft Dynamics, they have a full license and they have a user license. The full license, for example, costs $1,800 a year, but the user license only costs $150 a year.
Why like that?
User license.
Oh.
So actually, we can use a lot of user license because, for example, you only need one person to approve PO, maybe 1%, 2% previous sales order. Wow. Then the rest can be just user license, which is just doing entry, you see.
Wow, Jipeng, you're so good, I'm so happy.
You can give every one of your technician one license because it only costs $150 a year.
Yeah, it's quite okay.
So that's quite okay. Then they can all tap on their tablet, update everything happily. Yes. Then Rowena don't have to be their data entry clerk anymore. Yeah, we'll discuss that tomorrow. So I don't know whether you guys feel the same way, but we're not seeing the same thing, even though this is a 3rd MS Dynamics.
Yes, because everybody is so different.
And because we are also more experienced and know it better, we're able to ask better questions and understand better. So it's like us talking to 3 professors, lecturing on the same topic, but teaching us different approaches. But all in all, we get to learn better in the process. Yeah.
Good. Wow. Very, very blessed to have you, Jipeng.
Yeah. So that's my so next process tomorrow we discuss all these things. So I hope Rowena and Susan, you get a better idea of the so-called process.
Yeah.
So Rowena,
how you feel? Yeah.
Rowena, do you like the service module so far?
Yeah. I think for this one and the previous one, I think by Darren, is it? Also under Microsoft.
Yes, correct.
This one, it's very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, it's not because they present differently, because it's like you eat. Let's say there's this hor fun dish you eat first time. The second time you eat, then your expectation is different already because you tried the first time.
Correct.
So, but we go through another round of those top shortlisted people just to make sure that we have a more detailed objective evaluation. This round, part of the objective is general awareness and education of our team, so that we know what is the landscape like. Then we can make a better decision. Yeah.
I think, Chipeng, you become an ERP expert already.
Actually, I can go and give I can do an SME guide how to choose ERP software.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think you should. Hey, serious, it's not easy to choose because actually I was also thinking. I think everybody quotation so far away.
Don't look at the quotation. It will give you headache. I sorted it out already.
Oh,
I went through
good.
2 days of headache and sorted it out already because
Wow.
they are very the salespeople are very salespeople.
Wow.
But when I ask them certain questions, they have to answer me because if they don't answer me, they're lying. So they know that. if you're not technically trained, you don't answer the question correctly, then they give you the answer that you asked for, which is not the answer that you want, then it's very confusing.
Yeah, true. Quite true.
It's like if I'm buying one item from you, if I'm not from the field, I don't know how to ask the correct questions.
Yeah, true.
So yeah.
Okay, good. So anyway, thanks for this session. I think at least we have a bit of depth. So tomorrow we have another meeting for the commercial side. Yeah.
Yeah, internally maybe you, Kai Kiet, and myself 4:30 tomorrow lah.
Yeah, can.
Okay, so maybe tomorrow we talk about an hour or so to so-called do a review lah.
Can. Thank you so much, Chipeng. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.